Okay.
There we go.
Good evening. This is HNN. The Holotable News Network is you are not even remotely close to around the clock Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news, reactions, reviews, theory crafting, and more source. I'm SirG, your host, and today we're joined by my distinguished co-host, Celiac Sarah.
How are you?
I am good.
Good.
We've got four headlines.
Mm-hmm.
The two of them are new kit reveals,
Mm-hmm.
next set of Jabba requirements, and then I am leaving the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I
Sad.
It is sad. I just don't know if I can fit it into my schedule anymore and might be quitting the game soon, so don't want to make those happen at the same time.
Right. Which
I, at
is.
least for now, don't have the motivation or energy for the game enough to be part of a podcast for it.
Mm-hmm. Which is
So
understandable.
we can talk about that first.
Yeah. You want to talk about it?
Sure. Basically, now in my life, I new job that's very busy,
Mm-hmm.
and between juggling that and family, making the time to play the game has been hard, let alone not feel like it's a chore, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm being forced to play the game. A lot of it is the time issue, because I mean, with the even with the new datacrons and conquest has been a big pain for
Yeah.
me. Like, how many battles do you think you do a day for conquest? Because you get
Um,
the red crate, you go all the way.
I go all the way. I do minimum 3 refreshes a day, plus whatever natural energy accumulates, which I think you only get 5 or 6 battles naturally.
25 battles a day, maybe.
Easily.
Yeah,
Easily, yeah. And I space it out. Like I do it morning, mid afternoon, evening. Like I don't do it all in
sure,
one
sure.
chunk. Which I know a lot of people do because exactly what you said, where they're busy through the day. So they
Right.
have to do it all in one session.
So 25 battles. They're 5-minute battles. I don't. How long do you think you take per battle?
It depends on if I'm winning or timing out. So like earlier, like you and I were messaging and I was timing out on a 10-minute battle. And I
Yeah.
started timing out when the timer said 9 minutes and 30 seconds. So like
Yes.
yeah, so you're spending per battle.
At least
It's
two and a half
it's at
minutes. Let's say you
least,
just take half
yeah.
the time.
Yeah, it's at least 2.5. Because some of them are 30 seconds, but then some of them you spend the whole battle and then you time out.
So that's an hour and a half each day that you're spending on conquest. Just in the battles, not even counting the brain thinking time
Right.
where you've got to strategize the teams to come up with,
Right.
go through the squad selection screens. So that's
If
an
you
hour and a half,
swap mods,
right?
anything
Hour
like
and a half
that.
for conquest, territory battles, territory war, grand arena, which it's hard not to stress over. Like, you want to win.
Yeah. And I feel like Grand Arena takes a little bit more planning now with Datacrons.
Yes, yes. Grand arena is 20 battles on 5v5, give or take, and then more than that for the 3v3. Which, so that takes at least an hour and a half, because the same amount of battles. And I don't know about you, but I bet you think more about those battles and strategize who you're going to take in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 3v3 not so much because I've embraced this new winging it philosophy for 3v3, which makes it way more fun, can I just say. It takes the stress out. You're just kind of like, yeah, anyway. But 5v5, 100%, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I need to do this team here and this team here. And if that fails, then I have this team for a backup. And like,
Right.
yeah.
Right. I thought I could coast in Grand Arena.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's called. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I can just coast. I don't have to stress about it. But then it's hard to win that way.
Right.
And so now I've dropped all the way to Kyber 4 when I was in Kyber 1 most of the time that it's been out.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I need to win this many to get back to Kyber 1. And then I tried to do it for a week, and it was just so much time, and I don't have that to spend.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I enjoy the game, it's definitely also a bit too repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
That, we've been doing it for 7 years.
Yeah.
Or 6 years, however long.
Oh my gosh.
And how many years since we've gotten a new territory battle? 4? 3?
It's Light Side came out in June of 2020, I believe.
Okay. So
Light Side Geo. Yeah.
2 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then a new real raid besides the Challenge Rancor.
Right, because that was just a hypercharged Rancor,
right.
Essentially.
And in that one, it's very limited on what you can do when they made it every 2%. It's amping up its damage and speed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much theory crafting is out there, but most of it's for phase 1, and it's hard to do much in the other phases, which isn't fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's mostly it. Just the time it requires to be competitive in the game now.
Yeah, it is a lot of time.
And it's not like the time spent is going into uncharted territory. Mm-hmm. It's just fighting the same teams day in and day out, the same conquest battles. And I don't know if I've changed or the game's changed or it's just been too repetitive for too long, but I'm getting pretty tired of it.
That is understandable. I'm curious, so...
Sure.
Because Crumb hinted on Friday, he was on the Escape podcast, and he hinted that the Road Ahead is coming in September. And he hinted that there's going to be some PvE content announcement in it.
I do like that. I do like PvE.
So I'm curious if that will, depending what it is, of course.
Hopefully.
If that would like reignite.
Yeah, hopefully. I do like PvE. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try to play at least till then. And yeah, I'll try to play at least till then. Because I mean, it doesn't. Right now, I get my tickets in, try to do the guild stuff, and just not sweating the Grand Arena and Conquest. It's too repetitive for me to do all the refreshes.
Mm-hmm. You have to have like and this goes into you saying about it being repetitive. Like for me, I have a very methodical way of doing it. And it involves doing the exact same thing in the exact same order every time I do a refresh. So, like, for this one, for instance, the first one I do is a first order battle, full first order team, and then I do a full resistance team. And then I go through each sector and I do one of the 14 wins, and then, you know what I mean? And you just kind of...
Yeah.
And I follow that cycle every time I do a refresh. So, yeah, I can understand what you mean by that. Because it is repetitive. You do the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah. I back in the day, I didn't think you could get enough Star Wars content.
Mm-hmm.
But now I would enjoy going back to only thinking about like that 1 hour of day, crappy squad arena, getting your crystals there.
Right.
And then the raids and TBs, TWs each week.
Mm-hmm.
They just happen every couple days.
Instead of moving everything to like Grand Arena and then having.
Right. I mean, there's just so much to keep track of
Mm-hmm.
and to keep competitive that you have to now do. Like with Squad Arena, you just had to. I hated the whole mechanic and how it worked, but at least you got crystals and you only had one squad you had to worry about.
Right.
Only a couple different team comps you had to fight. But now with the Grand Arena, in order to stay competitive, you have to complete 20 battles
Mm-hmm.
just to do a full clear. It takes so much more strategy and involvement.
Right.
And that's just one of many game modes now, like Conquest, all the challenges. Just too much. Just too much. Like with the Datacrons, and that was a big signal for me that I think my enjoyment of the game has dipped below a good level. Was with Datacrons. It wasn't until our last episode, I think, that I felt like I needed to open up Datacrons and actually interact with them.
Right, and deal
like
with
I
them.
hadn't even in at least a month.
Yeah.
At least past that first wave of Datacrons.
Right, the first set.
Before I even interacted with them at all. Opened up that tab.
I do not like Datacrons. I have realized I tried to kind of like toe the line with them and see how they would work, and I've just found that I don't enjoy. Like I feel like I'm going to interact with them because they're there, and exactly what you said. It's so much work to stay competitive and stay where you are, so you have to do it essentially. But like just knowing, they did the Datacron Q&A, and they had kind of buried this in there in the Q&A, where they talk about the level 9 modifiers on Datacrons, and they're weighted. So they don't say how they're weighted, but they essentially say that some are more likely to roll than others. So there's like a rare level 9 and a like. So it's
not an equal chance
exactly
for the options to get one of the options.
And they like it's flat. It's in there. You can go look at the Q&A. It's right in there, but it's kind of buried. So if you just skim it, and it's such a short little line that you can easily skim past it. And once I saw that, I was like, well, that's kind of annoying because you could theoretically get really lucky and roll the like rare one right away.
Right.
Or you could not and then spend your reroll mats, and just keep chasing this thing that you like might not, and just waste all your reroll mats on it. And that was like kind of the moment for me where I was like, I will engage with them because I have to, but I'm not going to bend over backwards to chase the optimal build, because if it's not happening, it's not happening. Like I got bad RNG this time or whatever. And that has made it a little bit better, but it's still one of those things that I'm like, oh, I don't like these.
Yeah, so that means they don't list it as rare.
Right.
But in the game they say, has a chance to roll one of these 2 or 3. You know one or two of them are better than the others. Mm-hmm. But behind the scenes, it could be 70% chance what the developers think is the worst one is what you'll get.
Right. Not
communicating to us that one of these other 2 is better, and therefore we've made it a more rare chance. That's messed up.
Well, so like in set 1 for the level 9 rebels, you could get Wedge, you could get Mon Mothma, you could get CLS. I kept re-rolling, and I kept getting only Wedge or Mon Mothma. I was chasing for CLS, and I was like, I was so mad. I was just like, this is ridiculous, like the amount of re-rolls I've done, and I didn't get it. And then when I did get it, I actually built a new level 9 from scratch, and that's the one that rolled CLS on the first go. So I had already wasted all of these reroll mats on a level 9 Wedge Datacron that I still have, but like it never rolled a CLS option at all for me.
So because I haven't paid attention or tried to mess with Datacrons, how do you build them up?
So
I can get the resources you need.
I build them to level 3. And what I like to do, because you get so many datacrons through, like the actual datacron itself through Conquest now, that I just roll them all to level 3. And then I see which ones have the level 3 ability that I want. So I kind of work backwards, or I guess it's kind of like a little bit forwards and a little bit backwards. I roll them to level 3 to see which ones they have. And then based off which ones I like, I decide what datacron I would like it to ideally go towards. So there was one that worked out nicely for a possible Sith one, and I was like, okay, so I'll take this to level 6 and hope that it rolls Sith, not Night Sisters, which it did. And then once it rolls what I want it to at that level, I will take it to level 9 to get the character, because once you can take it to the level 9 character, so this is actually a perfect example. So say it's level 6 and it rolls Sith, but it's not a Sith one that you want. You want a different Sith ability or whatever. If you re-roll it right away, you also have the ability to pull a Night Sister one, because you haven't gone all the way up to level 9. So if you go to level 9 to the Sith character, lock it in at that, then you re-roll level 6, it will only pull Sith abilities.
Because the final 9
Because the final one is
has
locked.
to be who it is.
Yeah. And then you can re-roll if you wanted to re-roll level 9 for whatever one you can.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I go about it. And then
The resources. What about
the resources, though? It's been different every set because they've been changing them. So set 1, it was whatever it was. And then set 2, they were like, oh, we'll add some more to the Conquest drops. But then they took away the reroll materials out of the Conquest path. If you buy the pass, they took those away. And then in this set, they added those few days where we got the bonus drops.
Yeah.
But they limited the reroll abilities in Conquest, so you can only really get reroll abilities in Sector 4 and Sector 5, I believe. And even then, like, it very rarely drops. And they removed reroll level, like the level 9 reroll mats. They removed those out of the Datacron store for Shard Shop currency. So you can't even buy them.
Oh, yeah.
So they're tweaking the economy because they're still in flux with how they want to do it.
Yeah, figuring out how they want it to be.
And, like, so to give you perspective, I do the 3 refreshes every single day in Conquest, and the majority of the time those refreshes are on Datacron nodes because my roster is built that I can take advantage of that.
That's what I was going to ask. So in Conquest,
Yeah.
the only time that you'll get either Datacron materials or Datacrons is from that bonus battle at the end of a sector.
Right.
And you have to just repeatedly play that one battle.
Yep.
Not helping you get stars on any of the other nodes.
Correct. So if you have to go back and do cleanup, you're taking away from your Datacron refresh. So it puts pressure on you to be more efficient going through the sectors so you don't have to clean up later on. You can farm the feats on the Datacron nodes, which is great.
That is helpful.
Is helpful. But, like, so to put it in perspective, I took my Sith Eternal Datacron to level 9, and I wanted to re-roll it because I didn't like the ability. I had 0 re-roll mats because I did not get a single one from Conquest.
What?
So I can't even re-roll it because not a single one has dropped for me.
So would you say it is a very tight economy where it's hard to get re-rolls?
Yeah. Oh, and then the re-rolls, I don't know if you've noticed this, if you've done a lot of re-rolling.
I have not.
It affects all the other levels, so they're not separated. So if you re-roll once, the cost is whatever. You get 2 re-rolls at that cost, even if you don't take it. You won't get the material back, but it stays the same price, and then it increases. But if you do a re-roll at level 3 and then a re-roll at level 6, and then you get to level 9 and you do a re-roll, your level 9 re-roll is already more expensive because you've already done 2 before you've even gotten there.
So all of the re-rolls for that One Datacron.
They're shared.
Gotcha.
So it's different materials, but the
increased bracket, the cost bracket.
Yeah, the cost bracket goes up.
Oh.
So even though you're using different materials, the cost bracket will go up.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So ideally, when you're building them, you only want to do...
Wait till you get to 9.
Yeah, if you have to reroll before that, then okay, but you only want to reroll once. Because then it's just too expensive to reroll. And if they keep changing the economy, which it sounds like they're going to keep doing, because it sounds like they're still trying to sort it out.
Right.
We're not going to have kind of like a finalized idea of how, like what our income will be or what's the best way to kind of do it going forward, because it's different every set.
Right.
So, yay.
Okay. So I've vented on what I dislike.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel differently? What's keeping you excited about the game? How do you feel differently than I do?
I mean, I think part of it is like I do have more free time.
Doesn't feel like a chore as much.
It doesn't feel like a chore as much.
Fitting in at the end of the day, yeah.
And then, like, for me, for Conquest, like, it is repetitive, but I really enjoy figuring out the puzzle. Like, for right now, like, my challenge in it, on Xeris alt account that I play, he doesn't have Kylo or Rey. And I'm figuring out how to get Red Crate without either of those galactic legends. And it's a nice, like, little puzzle to figure out in a challenge.
Sure.
But then it's done, and you figured it out. So the biggest thing, honestly, I think we have a really good guild. And then, like, the community is actually probably, like, the one thing that really keeps it going. It's probably one of the most fun parts of it.
Right.
And I'm holding out for another territory battle.
Yes, now would be the time.
Now would be the time. So, we'll see. More content. I don't know if that's good or bad, but...
If they could just make it not take up so much time.
Yeah, it just needs more... They need more time management somehow in-game.
When they switched Conquest, whatever statistics or feedback they got where they decided everyone would enjoy it if we double the amount of battles you have to do.
Right.
That really was a big drain for me. Because, sure, it's fun to figure out how to get through efficiently, but when, those 14 battles type feats, when there's 25 battles to a sector or whatever it is. And so you could be really efficient in getting those 14 battles, but still just have to use other teams that don't help towards the feat.
Exactly.
Just because there are so many in that one sector.
Right. Or the team just isn't strong enough to get through the sector every node anyway. So you have to go back and farm it as is. I think it would be really, you could make it require the same amount of battles that they have right now and just make it more interesting by adding more feats that require a smaller number. So, like, instead of winning 40 battles with resistance and 40 with first order, win 20 with resistance and 20 with first order, and then add something else in there that makes up the difference and is a different puzzle piece. Or you take those points and disperse them into the sectors and give each sector more feats itself. And, like, instead of winning 14 battles, win 7 with this team, 7 with no attackers, and 7 with all attackers. That way you're still making people double dip to do the same amount of battles, but it's different. Does that make sense?
Yes. So theoretically, you could complete it in fewer battles because you can double dip, triple dip. but there are just as many, if you weren't double dipping, battles needed.
Yeah, like you're not making, like, right now the biggest thing for me is like that non-separatist droid
Yes,
feat.
that's a hard one. I noticed that one.
You can't do that one. Most people can't do that one
You can't
going through
win.
the
You
sector.
can't get more than 1 star.
No, exactly. And if you're trying to get all 3 stars, which people do if they're being very tight on how many stars they can drop, you have, like, I have to do that battle on the mini boss, which means I'm doing 14 battles that get me nothing other than 10 points.
In addition to the other 20.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, it's, I think if they dispersed it a little bit more like that, it could be more fun for people because it's not as repetitive. It's still repetitive, but it's not as repetitive.
Yeah. Yep. I thought it was fun at first, but now it just seems like way too many battles. And
excuse me.
Yeah. So that's why, and so that's a big reason why. Plus, just real life, it's hard for me to fit the podcast in.
Yeah.
I keep bailing on Sarah too many times.
It's all good. It's all good. Real life's busy. Like, that's the other thing, right? Like, you're spending so much time in game, and then you're doing, like, if you do the podcast or a video or whatever, and then you also have to have time for your own life, like for work and your family, right? You can't just, do all of the game.
Right. So that being said, what's the future of the podcast, Sarah?
So we're going to keep going. I do have it already worked out. So it's still going to continue. I have somebody lined up to co-host with me, so it won't just be me talking to myself. I'm not going to announce who. I'm going to make people wait and make them listen to find out who it is. But I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised or pleasantly pleased as well.
Good.
So,
good.
Yeah. It should be.
Look forward to it.
It should be good.
Okay, should we go over these 2 characters?
Yeah, do you want to just skim? We can skim through.
Yeah, we can skim through.
Do you want to do Ben first since he's been out for...
Sure. You want to read one?
That's who we're working towards? Yeah, that sounds good.
Who do you want to read?
You can pick. I'm happy to read either or.
I'll do Skiffguard.
All right. Skiffguard. What a dumb name. Sorry. Okay, so Ben obviously is the Conquest. He's the lifter unit for Rey. Tons of people working towards him. I will say, can I just plug this really quick? Because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have Rey, so I don't need to get Ben. Get him anyway, because the last thing that you want to do, one, is find out that you need him for something down the road and you don't have him, like Razor Crest or, like that kind of stuff when that happened.
Right.
But 2, you don't want to have to worry about spending your crystals and proving grounds for refreshes down the road and taking forever to farm the character. So at least if you have him, he can sit on your roster. You can leave him at level 1, gear 1. I don't care. But at least it's there and you don't have to stress about it later. So that's just my own little bit of tidbit advice. And you can get him without buying the Conquest Pass. And you don't have to rush for Red Crate if you don't want him right away. If you get Gold Crate, this Conquest, and then the next 5, so the 6 Conquest runs that he's in the reward box, you'll get him unlocked. So you don't need to go crazy. And Gold Crate is considerably more achievable and like easier to get to than Red Crate. So that's my little tidbit on that. Anyway. Okay, so Ben Solo is unaligned Force user, which I thought was, I guess it kind of makes sense. It's just funny, but whatever. Anyway. That's it. Unaligned Force user and an attacker, but that's it. So his basic, he's going to, what is it even called? The Shadow Within. He just deals special damage to the target enemy. He inflicts defense down for 1 turn. If the target enemy is a tank, he this attack will deal 100% more damage if the target enemy is an attacker or support. He inflicts offense down and potency down for 1 turn. And if the target enemy was a healer, he inflicts speed down for a turn. So it's all based off who he's hitting for what happens. Which is
very versatile.
Very, very versatile. And like just super straightforward.
Yeah.
So.
Good one. Basic?
Yeah, basic. Okay, so his first special Obscured is an Omicron. Cooldown of 4. And it's Grand Arena Omicron. So he deals special damage, removes 100% turn meter. And if there is any version of Ray in the allied leader slot, so Ray, Scav Ray, or JTR, he blinds the target enemy for 2 turns, and then he gains offense up for 2 turns. And then the Omicron ability is it's in Grand Arena, and it's if all allies were light side at the start. When he uses this ability, his cooldowns are reduced by 1. If Galactic Legend Ray is in the allied leader slot, this attack instead deals true damage and inflicts healing immunity for 4 turns, which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted. So,
dang,
that's a good Omicron, especially because like that he's her lifter unit, right? So,
yeah,
like,
and if you're doing Galactic Legend versus Galactic Legend, 4 turns of not being able to heal,
yeah, and true damage, like that's pretty awesome. Plus, you would also hang on. I guess you don't also inflict blind because it says instead you deal true damage and inflict healing immunity.
I don't know.
I would assume it would be healing immunity instead of blind. It would be great if it was both blind and healing immunity, even better.
Yeah, it might just mean that the damage changes from special damage to true damage.
Right.
But I don't know.
We'll have to
see it in the action.
Yeah. Okay. And then his second special is a Zeta, Family Legacy. So he deals special damage to the target enemy and will inflict armor shred until the end of the encounter. If everyone was a light side ally at the start, he dispels all buffs from all enemies, deals true damage again to all enemies. All allies gain 5% turn meter, so a max of 25% for each enemy that's damaged by this ability. If he defeats an enemy with this ability, he gains 10% offense stacking to a max of 50%, and all other light side allies gain 5% offense stacking to a max of 25% until the end of the battle. And you can't evade this attack. So foresight won't matter.
Right. So can't evade. Whole team gets 25% turn meter if he hits all 5 people. AoE dispel.
Yep.
And AoE damage.
And you gain offense. Or I guess that's only if you defeat the...
Yeah, if you defeat somebody.
That's probably the Zeta part, if you defeat the enemy.
Gotcha. And you also do another piece of damage to whoever you're targeting.
Yeah, because you do the special damage to the target enemy, and then you do the AoE if everyone's light side. Which, I mean, if you're putting him with Ray, probably all light side.
Yeah.
Okay. So his unique is called Redeemed. It has a Zeta and an Omicron. So at the start of battle, if everyone was light side, ally-wise, and there is any version of Ray in the leader slot, he will gain 15% max health and 10 speed for each light side ally, excluding summons. Ben Solo ignores taunt effects during his turn. And then the Omicron is that he will, in Grand Arena, his attacks will ignore protection. So that's kind of a big one, too. Like, can you imagine doing true damage because you have all light side enemies, or all light side allies, sorry. So you do true damage right off the bat with that second special, and that true damage hits under protection.
Yep.
Wild.
Wild. Very wild.
Okay, and then his second unique is Force Dyad, which is a Zeta and an Omicron as well. If everyone was light side at the start, and there's any version of Rey in the leader slot, all of the allies gain instant defeat immunity for 1 turn at the start of each encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. While he is active, Rey can't be defeated, and Ben Solo can't be defeated while Rey is above 50% health. And then in Grand Arena for his Omicron, if it is Galactic Legend Rey in the leader slot, if the enemy in the leader slot begins their turn with Ben Solo defeated, so if Ben has died somehow and then the enemy takes their turn, and there's still an active ally, Ben will revive with 51% health, and all allies gain instant defeat immunity for the rest of the encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. So basically, if you are waiting with Kat to use her instant kill until all of them have nothing, and then you instant kill Ben, he's just going to come back anyway.
And there's no limit to his revives.
Right.
So anytime the enemy leader,
who's
going to be one of their better characters, especially if it's Galactic Legend versus Galactic Legend, the last one standing on the enemy team is going to be their Galactic Legend leader.
Right.
And they're going to be going twice as fast as all the other characters just because of their built-in high speeds.
Yep. So they're going to take the turn, and then Ben's going to revive.
Yep. And once Ben's revived, Rey can't be defeated anymore.
Right. So you have to kill Ben again. So you literally have to kill Ben and then kill Rey before your leader takes a turn.
You know what? Okay, so let's say you're doing Galactic Legend versus Galactic Legend.
Okay.
And you've got Rey and Ben versus them, and you've got them down to just their Galactic Legend left. Every single turn that the enemy Galactic Legend leader takes,
okay, yeah,
will be reviving Ben, because there is no damage to be dealt by the enemy to your team.
You're right.
Except when that leader is now taking a turn, and when they take a turn, Rey can't be killed because Ben is still alive.
I didn't even think of that.
That could be the ultimate stall.
Oh my gosh.
There would be no way, impossible for them to kill Ben.
Like you would
somehow kill Rey without taking another turn, which would then bring Ben back.
You would, because like I don't even. Would an AoE kill Ben and Rey at the same time?
I don't know.
I'm like, because
I think that would work.
My main thought is if you're going against like Kenobi, because they're talking about instant kill, so you're thinking Cat. Kenobi doesn't have an AoE. Jedi Master Luke does.
That whole team really doesn't.
Yeah, unless you're putting gas on there, but
right.
But a lot of people aren't doing that. I didn't even think of that. If you get it down to just Rey and Ben, and you only have your leader left, there's no way unless you have to have an AoE.
Now, could you prevent his revive? Does it say anything?
It doesn't say.
So if you killed him with Supreme Leader Kylo, he shouldn't come back.
He shouldn't. It doesn't say. Or like if you did like an annihilate.
Right. Anyone that makes it so they can't be revived. That's what you would have to have.
Yeah. Ooh.
Might be a good defense team.
Yeah. I'm excited for him.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so that's Ben.
That's cool. And I like this version of Ben.
Yeah.
It was one of the highlights of Rise of Skywalker for me.
Yeah, it was. He needed a bigger arc than what he had. So,
I liked this version. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that is his kit, and then we will unlock him in 2.5 months, give or take.
Good. Now we've got Gamorrean Guard Lando.
Gamorrean Guard Lando.
The non-Gamorrean Guard Lando.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, we're on his kit.
He is a light side attacker, Hutt Cartel scoundrel smuggler.
Mm-hmm.
Undercover, working for the Hutt Cartel. He, in his kit, basic double dealer. Deal physical damage to target enemy. And Skiff Guard Lando gains a stack of deep cover for the rest of battle, which can't be copied. Max of 5. Deep cover gives him 10% defense penetration and 10% potency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not too dangerous of a buff.
Yeah, it's a little mediocre, but okay, we'll take it.
Yeah. Special 1, Cutter Vibro Axe. Cooldown of 3. Deal physical damage to target enemy. This attack gains 10% defense penetration and 20% offense per stack of deep cover on Skiff Guard. If Skiff Guard, that's a new use for it.
Mm-hmm.
If Skiff Guard has 5 stacks of deep cover, inflict target enemy with 2 stacks of damage over time for 2 turns, and armor shred until the end of battle. And there's a 50% chance to have the cooldown of this move refreshed.
So, okay, I have a question.
Sure.
Because deep cover gives him 10% defense penetration and potency for each stack. So,
right.
Is this move specifically in addition? So if you had 5 stacks, would you theoretically have 100% defense?
You would.
Okay. Like, that's how I'm reading it.
You would. And they probably worked that out so that when you use this special, your amount of defense penetration is equal to the amount of offense boost you get.
Yeah. Because you get the 20% offense boost. And, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty good special.
Yeah.
You can theoretically use it back to back because of the cooldown chance.
Right.
So that should be powerful. And armor shred multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
And dots.
Yeah. Once you build up to 5 stacks of deep cover.
Right.
Okay. But right now, his basic's the only way to get them. Special. Have you gone over this kit before?
No.
Okay, good. First time for me too. Special 2, Covert Coordination. Cooldown of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Dispel all debuffs on target other ally. Grant stacks of deep cover to target other ally, equal to the number of stacks on Skiff Guard Lando for 2 turns.
Okay.
If target other ally is Hutt Cartel, they gain Retribution and speed up for 2 turns. If target other ally is Dark Side, they gain defense up and health up for 2 turns. If target other ally is Light Side, they gain potency up and stealth for 2 turns.
Man.
Call target other ally to assist, then grant them a bonus turn. What?
Okay, so you have the Hutt Cartel clarifier, and we know that there's going to be, like, because of Lando, you have Hutt Cartel on light side characters. So if we get another Hutt Cartel character who's light side, you could target them.
Oh, you're right.
They gain Retribution speed up. potency up and stealth, but if he targets a Hut Cartel that's dark side, they would get retribution, speed up, defense up, health up. So like theoretically, if you have a full Hut Cartel team, this move would hand out 4 buffs to whoever you target.
Wait.
Right?
So you can only target one ally, I think.
Right, but if you have all Hut Cartel allies, would they not get the buffs because you're targeting Hut Cartel and they're also light side or dark side?
Only the person you're targeting gets the buff.
Right. But,
so you're saying between Lando and the other person?
No, like if I'm trying to think of who has the Hut Cartel tag, Boba or Chrysanthemum, or like if you targeted Cad Bane because he's dark side and Hut Cartel, would he not get retribution, speed up, defense up, health up?
Yes, you're right. Yeah,
right.
I just wasn't thinking about it. Yes,
like if you had a full,
that's a 4 buff. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Like if you have a full Hut Cartel team, you're handing out 4 buffs to whoever you decide.
4 buffs plus the stacks of deep cover,
right?
Which can be a bonus 50% defense penetration and 50% potency,
and then they assist
and gain a bonus turn. So you can target somebody who's at 0% turn meter.
Ooh, yeah.
And boom, they get to take another turn.
So like if
it's
someone
not a swap, it's just a
bonus turn.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I like that.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, that's a really good move.
Yeah. And I like that it's not a swap, it's just a bonus turn.
Yes, so even if they had days or something, they still get to take a turn. But if they did have days, he dispels the debuffs anyways.
Right.
Very nice.
Man.
That's a good one.
Man.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Then he has one unique.
Oh my god, it's a novel.
It is. One unique that looks like gives him a granted ability.
Okay.
Omicron, final text. Skiff-Guard Lando has plus 15% defense penetration. So not even because of any deep cover or anything, he just has it. Allies with any stacks of deep cover have plus 15% defense penetration and plus 30% potency. So that means just from his first stack of getting deep cover, he's instantly at 30% defense penetration plus the 10 that buff gives him.
Right.
Plus so just one stack of it and he'll have 40% defense penetration and potency boost.
Wow, okay.
Okay. At the start of his turn, he gains a stack of deep cover. So without doing his basic, he's also gaining it just by taking turns.
Okay.
If all allies were Hut Cartel at the start of battle, Skiff-Guard Lando gains 5 stacks of deep cover. What? And while he has 5 stacks of deep cover, he gains the granted ability Hut's Favor.
Oh man.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Hut's
if you
Favor.
have a full Hut Cartel team, you're gonna
starts the match.
Yeah.
And he does not lose them unless you use this Hut's Favor move.
Okay.
So all the benefits that we read in the rest of his kit from this deep cover, you can just keep doing those and never worry about him losing it. But if you want to use Hut's Favor, which is deal physical damage to target enemy and consume all stacks of deep cover on Skiff-Guard Lando. This attack deals 3% of the target enemy's max health per debuff on them.
Okay.
Skiff Guard Lando gains a stack of Trusted Agent, max of 5 for the rest of battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Trusted Agent is plus 30% defense penetration and offense, and at one or more stacks, attack again when performing a basic attack.
Oh. So you could do this, and then you get your defense penetration anyway, and then you start building your deep cover back again.
Yes. And this way you gain offense as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're trading, you're getting deeper undercover to become more trusted of an agent.
Right.
Which lets you become more deadly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I'm understanding it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. The Omicron part, while in territory wars, allies with deep cover gain an additional 10% defense penetration, 20% potency, and 20 speed. When Skiffguard Lando gains a stack of deep cover, he grants one stack of deep cover to a random ally who doesn't have it, which can't be copied, excluding Galactic Legends.
So Jabba's not going to get any.
Yeah.
So
but everyone else can start getting their own little stacks of deep cover.
I mean, and then I guess once everyone has it, he doesn't give it to anybody. Because it doesn't say if he just gives it to a random person or not. It just says if they don't have it. Which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this feels this unique feels like it's incomplete.
Right?
I think someone's got to come that also interacts with this.
Yeah. We're for sure. Well, I mean, they did say we're getting another marquee.
Yeah.
So we will have one more marquee for Java.
But not bad. Not bad.
No, it's not bad. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I am like, it's very obvious that you want him to work with Jabba. Like, you want him on the team, which means you're gonna have a mix. It's gonna be another mixed alignment. Sorry, that's a better word. Like Star Killer is mixed, and Bounty Hunters are mixed. You're gonna have another one of those.
I like that. I like that.
So
that's cool.
Yeah. So those are the two kits.
That's cool.
And then they
Next
did
set of job requirement.
Yeah, they dropped them today, which this is really weird to me. I went back and I deep dove into the forums because I was determined to make sure I was remembering correctly. Every Galactic Legend up until now has been set 1 requirements released. 2 weeks later, set 2 requirements released. 2 weeks later, set 3 requirements released, which is usually when the final marquee starts. And then 1 week later, the event starts in game and it's available. And this is the first time where it has been longer than 2 weeks in between set requirements. So I just thought that was interesting.
It is. So we might be in store for waiting longer. The rest of the time until the release.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Because, I mean, Chrysanthemum, just with this update, got moved to shipments.
Right.
So he's not even farmable. The very first Hut Cartel character
Mm-hmm.
It's not even close to farmable yet.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, I guess that also highlights, because a lot of people were thinking maybe they would rush the marquees, similar to how they did with like the Star Killer requirements. They put them out really quickly.
Right.
And I guess that's not going to be the case here.
Right.
So, anyway.
So first set of requirements that came out needed Chrysanthemum, Han Solo, Relic 8, Gamorrean Guard, Outrider, Ship 7-star, Greedo. New set, you need the new Skiff Guard Lando, Relic 5, Jedi Knight Luke, Relic 7, Jawa. So just the basic Jawa.
Yeah.
Not any of the other ones.
Just the one.
Yeah. The most fun Tusken, Relic 4. So get ready for that investment. And C-3PO Relic 7.
Mm-hmm. I am pleasantly surprised that Jedi Knight Luke is Relic 7 here.
Instead of what?
I just thought like he would be Relic 8, like just take him up another Relic level.
Well, I think they know people already have him built up pretty well.
Yeah, so I'm just surprised that they weren't like, yeah. Like that's a freebie for a lot of people.
True. Maybe the next set will have a new character at Relic 8.
The next set's definitely going to have the third marquee. And I am fully expecting a Relic 9 in the third set. I am expecting it. Only because you have Relic 9 for profundity needed on Radis, so it's already out there as like a precedent, right?
Good point.
So I'm fully expecting a Relic 9 character.
Good point.
I will be shocked if there isn't one.
Good point. And that brings us to our I Love You, I Know segment.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why we are still playing this game after all this time. I had a hard time finding a reason last time. And I might not be playing it much longer. But I do enjoy my guild, the community. That's really what's kept me playing as long as I have.
It is, yeah.
Or is the community. People talking to me on Discord, YouTube, the videos, the theory crafting.
Mm-hmm.
That has been the most fun part of the game.
Yeah, that's a big, big thing.
What about you, Sarah?
So we just had our territory battle, our light side territory battle. And which one is great because now almost everyone in our guild has Cam 7 stars. We're just missing one person's missing him, and they need like 24 shards or something. So it's totally fine.
Nice.
So which means that we don't need to enforce streaming anymore because everyone will be done. But my actual I Love You, I Know is I did do the streaming this time as usual, and I thought it would be a great note to kind of like officially retire the streaming from the guild. I'll still do it occasionally here and there for people. But I had 100% success rate.
What?
I did not lose a single stream.
That is a good...
Now I'm like, I've peaked. It's done. I will never have a better month, so it's over.
Very nice.
That's the I Love You, I Know. That's it. Everything else, I'm like, okay, we're good.
You are the cam battle expert.
And I will say I'm very happy that I've figured out on an account that doesn't have Kylo and Rey how to get Red Crate.
That is very cool.
Which is daunting, and man, you think there's a lot of battles. There are a lot of battles when you don't have the galactic legends that you want. So, yeah, that's it. There weren't any. I didn't see any questions. I feel like you answered a lot of why you're retiring from the pod.
Yep. And based on the comments, I've enjoyed playing with you guys too. Missed you, Darth Fade H2O.
Mm-hmm.
One of my early guild mates and favorites.
Yeah, Darth Fade's awesome.
Yep. And rank and file.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever our last show was, I don't remember. Executor was at 87%.
Yeah, let's click on
Now he's at 93.
Holy.
He's taken almost the entire pie chart. 93%.
Holy. This is disgusting.
And it's been what? Over a year?
It's been a year.
How long has it been?
I think it's been almost a year.
Almost a whole year without any good counter. Like, Finalizer recently, last couple months, emerged as a pretty good one if you put investment into the new tank that came out for it.
Mm-hmm.
But still, they didn't even want that to happen. And it's still not a great sure thing. Otherwise, we would see more of those in the pie chart here. Finalizers at 2% of the rank 1 squads.
That's insane. Like, even the ship that is, I don't want to say the counter to it, but like a solid counter to it.
Sure.
Is at 2%.
Yep. And Malevolence might be the other good counter-ish. That one's at 3%. So,
So
5%.
It has
total.
been just over a year. Michael just said in chat. By like 2 days, it's been just over a year for Executor.
And we're just now going to get a real counter.
Hopefully.
Which, if it's anything like how the Executor was, it'll wipe the floor with anything that came before. Basically be a galactic legend of ships. And it'll be another painful year.
Yeah.
Executor was painful.
Yeah.
Until I bit the bullet and spent thousands of crystals trying to get him just to where I could win in a toss-up coin match equal to somebody else.
And even then, like it's not like, so I have my Executor on defense right now in Grand Arena, and I'm fairly confident my opponent does have his on defense as well, but he can't clear it. So like he's used the counters and he can't.
Yeah.
And I don't have a top tier Executor. Like my pilots aren't max like crazy. My mods are a disaster because I've been moving them around like crazy. So like,
yeah,
it's not like you're going in and it's. I like to think I have like a easier. I shouldn't say easier, but one of the lower tiered
of Executors.
Yeah, sure. And like that's just the wall. Yep.
Even if they don't have an Executor, then it's gonna be very hard for them to get through it. Yep.
So, oops.
Well, that. Last but not least, let's head to Uncle Owen's Moisture Farm to talk about who and what we're currently farming in game. I am farming the Grand Inquisitor requirements.
Oh, how's that?
Besides that, and I think everyone's 5-star now.
Okay.
It'll still be a few months.
Yeah, it's brutal for them.
Yeah, so it'll still be a few months. You get to 5 stars and you're like, I'm almost there.
You're like, okay, we're getting there. Oh,
then
man.
you get to 6 and you're like, okay, now in a week I'll have them. When in reality,
it ain't a week.
You've just gotten the 100 shards left mark.
Yeah. Oh man, maybe a week for is it Fifth Brother that's in Cantina?
Yeah.
A week for him. Everyone else, yikes.
No, you still got 2 to 3 months.
Oh,
even
man.
at 6-star. Yeah.
It's yeah. I'm yeah. I do not envy that.
Yeah. But that's what I'm working on. What about you, Sarah?
I am slow farming Inquisitors. I might pause them just to work on gear because I'm gearing up the profundity requirements.
Sure.
So I'm farming Radis. I am triple refreshing him, which is awesome for crystals. But I mean, his drop hasn't been too awful.
Good.
So hopefully it keeps working out. And then I'm double refreshing Outrider. So that should be, I think I'm around the 20 out of 100 on Outrider. So we're getting there.
Nice.
But it's all profundity, which is great. So I feel like...
You know when that is hitting the game?
No. So there is a data mine that Cassian and Biston will have packs available for their U-Wing ships to buy on August 29th. Which tells me that maybe the 29th or the 30th is when we're going to have the event. I feel like it makes sense to make it on the 30th because then you are not... you're like spaced out far enough from the Executor event. So there's like 2 things for people to panic each month. I guess they'd have to figure that out for February because we know they probably haven't thought about that if they are doing it on the 30th.
Yeah.
There's no way they've thought about what happens in February.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my guess, is somewhere around there. Just because of those data mine packs. I think that's really interesting.
Not too long for the start of the grind.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
It's been a while since they announced it, so I'm a little surprised it's not here already.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone that has watched the show with me on it all this time, and all the support, the server that's grown, and the great memories we've had. And
oh no, we've lost SirG, guys.